This is the roadmap for treasure hunt game. So first they start from my office, which is the starting point. After that they move on to student hub for task 1. From there they go to Tilcon library for task 2. And then they explore Pilkington Cafe for task 3. And then they come back to the finish line, which is again my office, to finish the game.
Now in Student Hub, and this is your first task. Please find a seat and sit comfortably. Please see the link at the sides and you'll be test shoulder. I was scared as the patient is not able to find it.
I thought it was really helpful because so when we go through it in the seminars often to like other people's speed and stuff, so having the video there means you can go back and watch it again. It's really useful, and you can make notes and see how it's done. Yeah, it was really useful.
I found it was quite fun. It's a different approach to learning rather than always being like looking at books or in like a seminar room. Like you're out and doing stuff, and it's quite modern. It's got different technology about it, so you're not only learning about different technology, but you're learning about the special tests, and it's really interactive. I like the links onto the different videos to watch. Like it's all there for you, available. Yeah, it's quite easy to follow.
I think the game gives a bit of a competition, so you challenge yourself, you want to do well, whereas if you were just given the video, you wouldn't really, maybe not try as hard to learn it, but I think for me personally I still would, but some people might not.
But that's the whole point of the game, is to be fun. Like you want to go exploring it and having to find it is like the treasure hunt. That's the whole point of it, otherwise it would just be a game like something else. So I think the idea of having to go into a different place and then having to go to the library and actually looking for a book, which not many of us do, because we all go online, I think it's just not so much opening our eyes, but it's making us work slightly to go get what we need.
Yeah, so there was like the competition aspect to it, but for me, I felt like if I could beat it, I wouldn't really kind of understand it. Like I would just you kind of just get the base, what you need to know and go. Where I felt like I kind of took that bit, the competition bit out, and just so I could actually understand it and grasp it properly. That was why I took longer than probably others.
I think like, especially the quizzes at the end after the videos, it really makes you think for yourself, rather than just sitting there and having you tell us all the answers. So we'd have to like...
It was really good, it was interactive, and it kept us on our toes. Yeah. And the videos are very detailed, so it provides you with like extra information that you might have missed before, so you can get in-depth points.
Oh, it was really good. Only one time the internet didn't work on Elwood, but apart from that, pretty easy to use. You can take it wherever you are. Like you're in the library, you're in here, you're in Pilkington. You can do it. You can even do it at home if you wanted to, as long as you got the book or the paper. I think it depends what type of person you are. Because some people thrive at the having the competition side to it. Some others, they're like, okay, let me not have the competition side. As long as it's still there, but you're just like, okay, let me understand it properly. Because I feel like if the competition's not there, people won't take it serious, but then if you do the competition side, there's pros and cons to everything.
I thought it was really good.
Yeah, it's different. Instead of just sitting in the like lecture room or something like that, it's a bit more like interactive.
Yeah, you're clear. And even if you don't get it the first time, you can go back and go back through it. If you didn't get it the first time, until you understand what you have to do. It was really interesting. To be honest, like all the information that you wanted was there in terms of what type of structure it was testing, what injury it actually is, how to do it, and you went through all points step by step. So it's pretty, what do we call it? Dumb.
I think like, especially the quizzes at the end after the videos, it really makes you think for yourself, rather than just sitting there and having you tell us all the answers.
No, the questions, like, so for me personally, I thought I knew quite a bit, but it like challenges you and makes you realise that there's a lot more to learn. So that was a good part of it.
Yeah, that was easy to use.
Easy to use, but the questions itself wasn't easy at all.
Yeah.
Like, there's still quite challenging questions within the quiz.
It was really good. It was really informative. To be honest, the questions before I done the actual listening to it, going through it properly, my knowledge was very basic. It was kind of like, you kind of put me in an R, but when after I went through the videos, I took some notes as well, because I thought it could use it for future reference. And to be honest, when I got to the questions again, I felt like it was a lot easier. Like I knew what to put down, what it actually meant, and not just kind of guessing.
I think it was good, but there were some questions that I thought were very similar. One was, what is a specific certain test? And then why? And it turned out that they were very similar questions.
It was kind of like what we were saying, it's basically the same. To us it seemed like it was basically the same question. But other than that,
the questions were really good. And it's good to see a clear image of how to count special tests, because in the seminar someone will be blocking your view, so therefore you can't really see, or you're on the other side of the room because everyone's on one side of the room. So yeah, you get to see the special tests at a great angle.
That was really good because you explained it in the video and then put the link to a video that demonstrated it, which was useful, so you could see what you were talking about. There was a visual aspect there. But yeah, no, the app as a whole, I didn't even know there was stuff like that, so it was really good to.
It's much better. We can now go back and look at the videos and write all the notes in detail and apply it to our exam.
And I think it's good for sort of enhancing what you already know. So if you've already learnt the special test, it just provides sort of a reminder.
Yeah, watching the videos and stuff.
Yeah, then your explanation before the videos. And like, I think one of the videos you actually gave us a revision of the anatomy, and that was really good. So we could actually then refer that to what you're talking about. Instead of just saying, oh, infraspinatus, instead of thinking, well, where's that? I know we should know that because we're third years, but that kind of revision video helped.
I think this is better. I think if we could maybe do a bit of both, so sometimes seminars where you sit and watch is better than running around because sometimes you just get distracted. But I think because it's more interactive, you're almost inclined to focus, whereas if you have a seminar you're just watching, you can doze off, go on your phone, like it's a bit more interactive, so that's better for me.
I feel you kind of have to have a basic knowledge before you get that, because if you get that, and in the seminars you get to practice it with you there, so you have that, we can be like, okay, how are we doing? Whereas if you've done that and then you get the video, it's kind of reinforcing what you've learned, so it's kind of like, I remember that, okay, so I'm doing this way, okay, cool. And you kind of, it reinforces whatever you've learned, it reinforces it again. So you have it as a, but the problem is you don't want really people to rely on it, but it's a good tool to kind of help you if you missed a bit in the seminar, like for the cases.
Okay, so what additions?
No, I personally prefer the seminar groups because not only with other people, so you can bounce off ideas and you can work together and see the different body types. Because obviously, ranging from me being tall to a girl that's shorter, it's obviously going to be different, like the anatomy and everything. So you're learning how to do special tests on different people, as well as actually like practicing it. Whereas here you're just looking at some videos and answering some questions. It's good on the knowledge, like the theory, but where the practical, like in terms of practicality, I think the seminar is definitely much better.
I think in the beginning you need a traditional seminar in terms of seeing it done in front of you and being able to learn from that way. Then after, this can be used as a recap.
Yeah, it was fine apart from that
one issue.
Yeah, where it froze, but then it let us go back to it, so we completed it after that, so it was fine.
So,
for me, I think, well, some people might like the fact that you could win £10, but for me it put a bit of pressure on it. So I would rather it not be so competitive, but more like just how I did it, basically, more chilled and just do it in your own time, but still complete the task, I think.
It's not as quiet, like when you're trying to watch the videos, so you, like, the headphones would be, obviously, a better idea. Obviously, like in Pilkington, you've got the cafeteria area.
And you can't really hear properly, like what you were saying.
If you find the quiet spot, it's not too bad, really. Even without the headphones, the iPad's are loud enough for you to hear still. It's fine.
In the student hub it was fine because it was empty, there was no one there, so I just sat down with my headphones and that was it. Then in the library, it was obviously during this time everyone's in the library, couldn't really find a seat, so I was just standing there watching the videos and answering questions. But still that was alright. It's in the silent section, so you don't get any noise down there. So even if you didn't have you need headphones down there, but if you didn't, you would still be able to hear it. In the Pilkington building, however, it was completely packed, especially at this time. It was lunchtime, so there was no space at all. So I was standing there, and I don't know what happened, but the Wi-Fi, it wasn't connecting to the Wi-Fi like as well as it was in other parts of the other buildings. So it did take a while to load up the videos and everything. So it took a bit longer. But other than that, yeah, it was fine.
Oh yeah, because there's like here, it's more sports students that go in. In the library, there's everyone. Like I went past them, they're like, "What are you doing?" Like, that's real cool. Like, yeah. And then in the Pilkington building, it's kind of quiet because obviously everyone's finished. But it's different, like different environment to learn. So you kind of.
I think, I know it'd be probably impossible to do, but as soon as you look at the videos, if they were somehow directly sent to your email at that point, I know that's, I mean, to be honest, there was very few faults with this, so I was just kind of nitpicking and just saying what I would prefer to have, and that is just as soon as the video comes on, it's almost like saved on your device or something, and then you can just go back to, or email, yeah.
So be honest, I didn't find anything negative. I thought it was like really good. Like instead of giving you the whole exam, at the end of it, you have it in part. So you learn it, you understand it, then you do the exam. Then the next bit, the next bit. If you kind of like chuck the exam fully at the end, you might get bamboozled. You know, well, when you've already learned it, it's just this test is kind of been.
You could have had more, I guess, because it was, to be honest, quite quick, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think you could have had more sort of...
More stations, like, well, so like more tasks.
Yeah, I think we had like 3, I think 6 or 7 would be like a good number.
So you could have like, instead of going through 3 or 4 tests on it per video, do like maybe 2 and then another 2 or 3 and then, so you get more tasks out of it, so you'll go to like different places because it just seemed pretty quick, didn't it, to be honest?
Because if I stayed there, I probably would have got bored halfway. Because you end up distracting yourself by something else. But if you do one bit, then you want to move, you do that bit, you don't really have time to get distracted because you've had a little break and by the time you get there, you're like, okay, let me do this, do it properly. And you're like, okay, I've got to go somewhere else. And then, so you're having a little break in between each.
Good exercise, I'm out of breath now. But yeah, no, it's good. It meant that you could see where you could get different resources. For example, in the library, you could see certain books and see where you could get some of the information from. But yeah, it's also the interactive bit, so you're not just sitting at a desk or just listening to a lecture. It's a bit more interactive, and that's good, I think, for me as well.
Too much walking.
I prefer being outside and doing that stuff to sat inside if it was like just in one building, for example.
Yeah, it made it more interesting going outside.
Yeah, apart from the Wi-Fi, but that was just like 2-3 minutes. It wasn't anything like a disaster. I was quite impressed with it in terms of you just go there and then it zooms in and then it brings it up and click in it. And I liked how all the links popped up on the side. You could go onto that link, watch the video, go back onto the main video. Yeah, no, it was impressive.
Only when I went to the Pilkington building, the internet cut out from the library to the Pilkington building, so like I had to turn it off.